Jayson Tatum is back, but is he reclaiming the team he left behind or stepping into a team that Jaylen Brown has taken to another level? Many predicted that the Boston Celtics would fall without Tatum, yet Brown is playing at an MVP level and Boston is the second seed in the East. Today, we're breaking down the dynamic between Tatum and Brown, how Tatum fits back on the court, and 3, the risk of him returning from an Achilles injury this early. Now, before we continue, if you like this type of content and want to get more of it, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave a like, get in the comments, and let me know who do you think will be taking the primary role on offense for the Boston Celtics. Will it be Jaylen Brown or will it be Jayson Tatum? Let's start with the dynamic between the two stars. We like to think that superstar teammates are also best friends who only care about winning, and that being the number one option doesn't matter. But history shows us something very different. Superstars care about credit, legacy, and recognition, sometimes as much as championships. Take Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. 6 championships together, and yet Pippen has openly admitted that he often felt overshadowed. He feels like he sacrificed his individual success while playing alongside Jordan.
You call Michael Jordan selfish in the first chapter. Why is that?
I mean, he was a great scorer, but a lot of things that he did was based on him as an individual. We just never were great friends.
Then you have Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. Kobe has said that the tension wasn't about coexisting, it was about credit.
But I got to a point in my career where it was the rumblings, and some of it created by him, that, Kobe can't win without me. And it was like, hold up. No, it's not true.
Right.
It's not true.
Right.
And I'm not going to retire and have people hold that over my head. I said, no, let's find out.
Yeah.
So it was just time to go separate ways.
Shaq was the finals MVP and considered the lead player during their three-peat, which led to the narrative that Kobe can't win without Shaq, and that rings didn't fully recognize his contributions to the team. Even Kyrie reportedly wanted to prove he could lead a championship team himself, even apologizing to LeBron afterwards.
I had to call Bron, and tell him, I apologize I wanted to be the guy that led us to championship. I wanted to be the leader. I wanted to be all that, and, the responsibility of being the best player in the world and leading a team.
Nick Young tells a story of Steph Curry trying to get the NBA Finals MVP when they had Kevin Durant.
Because I remember it was neck and neck, KD and Steph, and then Steph had one bad game toward the end. And KD was hitting. Locker room Steph, head was down, down in tears. Yeah, after win. Nigga was mad. He wanted to win that, but
Which leads me to believe that it's easy to say that those things don't matter, but they do.
People say this ain't a thing. Man, it is a real thing, man. Like, it is, man. I'm this close to winning something, and you don't think I'm going to go for it? Of course.
So now let's look at Boston. Tatum and Brown are in a slightly different scenario. Both have publicly said that they've discussed roles. Both have given each other credit. And Brown has been very vocal about sacrificing for team success.
I feel like I've sacrificed over the years in order for us to be a championship caliber team. And I think now, we're getting to see that a little bit.
During the 2024 playoffs, Brown won both the conference finals and the NBA Finals MVP, despite Tatum leading the team in points, rebounds, and assists. That makes the situation unique. On the surface, it looks healthy, but they're only human, and wanting recognition and praise for your hard work is a normal emotion. Brown is ascending to MVP level status, validating what he's always known about himself. Tatum is returning from a major injury, trying to remind everyone he's still one of the best players in the world. This comes down to sacrifice. Jaylen Brown has obviously sacrificed for the betterment of the team. His numbers show that. Can Jayson Tatum do the same now that he's on the other side of the equation? So the real question isn't whether they can coexist. They've already proven that. The question is, what happens when one superstar ascends while the other is trying to reclaim his place? Now let's dive into the basketball side of things. How does Tatum fit back on the court? The first thing to note is, in my opinion, the roles themselves haven't changed dramatically. Jaylen Brown is now the lead player, attacking downhill as the primary isolation scorer, and he's done an excellent job of moving the ball and keeping the offense flowing. Derek White and Peyton Pritchard became primary pick and roll operators. Both are reliable spot-up shooters. Compare this to when Tatum was playing. He was the primary pick and roll creator and an isolation scorer. He was the team's offensive hub. His game developed into more of a point forward role. Brown used to be more of a weak side isolation scorer, and White and Pritchard ran pick and rolls but were less central to that game plan. Tatum's absence actually removed a unique weapon, the inverted pick and roll, which put smaller defenders on him. His size allowed Boston to create mismatches that most teams couldn't replicate. Defensively, he was often the low man and the player responsible for picking up drives or diving bigs. On pick and roll coverages, Boston used him to switch onto guards to neutralize attacks on bigs. With Tatum's return, that versatility comes back, which means the Celtics gain both offensive and defensive flexibility. But here's the twist. Opportunities have shifted. Brown will naturally continue to take more isolation and primary scoring chances. Tatum will need to be extremely efficient with his spot-up three-point shots and isolation opportunities if he wants to average anywhere near his numbers before. This team has the same core, the same structure, but the reality is Brown has reached a new level. Tatum isn't returning to a blank slate. He's returning to a team that's evolved without him. But I also think that Jayson Tatum returning was the plan from the beginning. Tatum never said that he'd be out for the entire season, and to return around 10 months means that he and his team ramped up his rehab at around the 5 to 6 month mark.
They're not going to ramp up and accelerate his rehab in December or January. They're going to have to ramp up and accelerate his rehab in like November, December, earlier than that, if they think they want to get him back on the court. And that is just as much a team planning sort of strategy as it is how is he doing on the court.
White also said that he's been around the team more than they initially expected, which signals to me that this was discussed and not something new to the team. Jayson Tatum's first game back ended with 15 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists, proving that reincorporating him to the team shouldn't be a massive hurdle. Let me ask you, if Boston runs the final possession with both Tatum and Brown on the floor, who should take it? Comment below. I'm curious what you think. Then there's the Achilles tear, which adds a whole new layer of complexity. Tatum returned around 10 months after surgery. Historically, that's aggressive. Since 2015-16, 18 players with Achilles tears have returned after an average of 13.4 months. Tatum is coming back 3 months earlier than the norm. Kevin Durant tore his Achilles, took 18 months off, and has averaged over 27 points per game since returning. Kobe Bryant returned after only 8 months and suffered a knee injury soon after he returned. Returning too early can compromise the body, sometimes causing compensation injuries elsewhere. It's not just about whether Tatum is healthy now, it's about whether he can remain elite over the next several seasons. So here's the big picture. Tatum returned to a team that's already evolved. Brown has become an MVP level player, and Boston is the 2 seed in the East. The on-court roles work, but opportunities have shifted, and the Achilles injury adds a real risk. The question isn't whether Tatum and Brown can coexist. They've already proven they can. The question is, when Jayson Tatum comes back, is he reclaiming the team he left behind or joining the team that Jaylen Brown has already taken to another level? If you want to see more of this type of content, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and in the comments, let me know who your sleeper team is to come out of the West and the East. I would love to know. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.